80.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
You ready?
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Rob Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
Robin's got you covered. Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes. Welcome to the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580, where we bring you the latest in entertainment news, trending topics, and interviews. Some heavy hitter interviews, by the way. Welcome. Happy Friday. It's a good day. You know how I feel about Fridays. It's always a vibe. Fridays are always a vibe. So I hope you are having a wonderful day, fantastic day. I hope you are going to have an even better weekend. I'm excited about today. This is going to be a little bit different than what, if you're normally listening to the Raw Report at 6 p.m., it's going to be a little bit different, but in a very, very, very good way. We don't have a contributor today because we have two amazing, that's for you, Kwamel, if you are listening, the word amazing, because they are fantastic guests that we have on today. If you have any questions, you feel like you want to weigh in on, or have a question with my two guests, feel free to call in. You can do that by calling 1-800-920-1580. And you can also join us right now in the YouTube chat because it's always lit. Hello, up to all of you guys up in our YouTube chat. The community in there is always so fantastic. So if you haven't joined in yet, you should go ahead and check them out. Go ahead. They are very supportive, and I see who you're here to support. I see you guys. Well, very good. We may as well just drop it on them, Andy. Let's go ahead and drop the Rob Report today.
Now it's time for a breakdown.
Okay. Well, if you've been paying attention to any of my socials whatsoever, then you will know that this particular first guest that I have, he is an exceptional and responsible filmmaker. He and his wife, Gina Prince Bythewood, are both dynamic visionaries, and they truly care about our community, and they support the next generation of Black filmmakers by the content that they share and what they put out, just very responsibly. And personally, I am a fan. Here to discuss his show, and more specifically, the second season of his hit show, Swagger, that's streaming right now on Apple TV. Please welcome Reggie Rock Bythewood. Hello to you, Reggie. How are you today?
Hey, great, thanks. How you doing?
I'm fantastic. You know, I'm always feeling good on a Friday.
There you go. Okay.
I don't know if everybody is like that. Some people, you know, they work on the weekends. They can't look forward to relaxation. But, you know, for me, I feel like it's always, you know, I set the mood on a Friday. So that's how I am today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right, so I like it.
yeah. I'm sure, Reggie, you must be pretty excited. You have, you know, your season 2 of Swagger out right now that is really everybody's talking about it, and I personally had heard about it. I was just like, wait a minute, am I missing out on something? So I had to start catching up. Reggie, I started catching up, and I got to tell you, I'm not surprised, but I'm a fan of this work of you as well. So why don't you just go ahead and tell everybody just a little bit about you, and so we can get caught up on why you are here to talk about your show today.
All right, well, cool. Well, thank you. I mean, and thank you so much for the introduction. You know, you mentioned myself, you mentioned, you know, my wife, and, you know, we always just feel like filmmaking isn't something we do, it's just something we believe in. And, you know, look, hey, tomorrow's not promised, so I have a season 2 of Swagger, and while it's really, really important for me to do content to entertain. The reason why we have to entertain, my motto here is get the audience at the edge of their seat, and while they're leaning forward, hit them with the truth. And so I'm really excited and really happy that we've taken a show that on the surface is about youth basketball. One of my exec producers on the show is Kevin Durant, and this really came about because I sat with Kevin Durant, a few years ago and really heard about his youth basketball days and really agreed with him that it would be a great launching pad for a series. And so while many elements are inspired by some of the stories he told me, it was very important to make it a contemporary story because then it allows us to deal with what's happening right now with our youth growing up, on the court and off the court.
Yeah, absolutely. Not just with this show, I've noticed with your work just in general. Recently, I had a conversation on this particular show about social commentary. And those who choose to shine a light on, racial disparities, all kinds of things that we deal with in our community, right? So I find it interesting, Reggie, that there's a very clear through line in your own work that, it's very, very clear. We talk about a different world. We talk about shots fired, get on the bus, obviously now swagger. I'm curious if you can identify whether there was a specific incident or just a general time in your life that compelled you to include this pillar of social commentary in your projects.
I think that there wasn't just one thing, but it was just really a culmination of things. I grew up in the Bronx. It was really amazing when I grew up. I grew up where hip hop was just in its infancy, and it was just really amazing time to grow up during there. But as well, I like a lot of my heroes were these political prisoners. A brother named Jamal Joseph, Geronimo Pratt, Deruba Ben Wahad, and I sort of found myself in this circle of these older cats that were doing all these political things and really things to champion our people and freedom fighters. And as I continued to write, I really felt this strong pull to make sure that my work would do something to just advance the causes of our people. And so that's really what I did and really did a lot of theater. And I never really thought that I would go beyond doing community theater. And, some people in Hollywood saw my work and offered me a gig, and I came out and, my first professional gig was writing in a different world, and that was amazing. I was writing in a different world where, people running that show, it was with black women running that show. Debbie Allen was the exec producer, a woman named Susan Fales Hill. That's also where I met Gina, and it was just an amazing way to start my career because if you remember, Different World was comedic and had fun, but we also had the opportunity to really do these episodes that allowed ourselves to challenge people's perspectives and raise consciousness. And so, the very first thing I wrote was this episode about this girl who was in a relationship with the guy who was abusing her. And I remember just getting this letter from a 13-year-old girl who was in Canada, and she said that after watching that episode, she broke up with her boyfriend. So you just really think about starting my career where really not even having to be convinced, but in a very tangible way, understanding that the work that we do can impact change. There was just no way that wasn't going to continue to be my North Star.
Wow. It's funny, as you sit here talking about your start, I never thought I'd be able to get to speak to someone who had their hands in writing A Different World and, writing some of those powerful, powerful episodes because when we were growing up watching that show, that was, I believe, one of the first times that we can really identify with all these deep subject matters that we cared about and that we could relate to. And and just to think, fast forward now, I'm speaking to one of the people who had his hands in writing those things. So I want to say thank you from all of us. Okay. that's signed from the culture. I want to, when we come forward, I'm actually going to start talking to you about this particular clip that you posted on your social media, that it is so powerful. And I want you to break it down for us. I want to talk about that and more that you have coming up. So let's keep you around for just a few more minutes. Reggie, don't go anywhere. When we come forward, we will get to more of this conversation with this amazing, incredible visionary on the other side. You are listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl BB, and you're listening to me on The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're inside The Raw Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
I just discovered the best back-to-school hack, shopping at Kohl's. With the extra 15% off right now, I found new school style for old school prices, like tees for under $7 that'll be so perfect for both recess and weekend fun. Then I picked up a few statement pieces, including a cool backpack that my son is so excited about. And up next, the best school year yet. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles, offers end July 23rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or kohls.com for details.
Don't settle for bumps, ingrowns, and itch due to dry skin. Venus for Pubic Hair and Skin is here with the only razor and regimen specifically designed for your pubic area, featuring a razor with a patented irritation defense bar and skincare regimen that is dermatologist and gynecologist tested. Venus helps protect your pubic skin from shave irritation. Visit GilletteVenus.com to learn more about our full regimen of products.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Meet Joe A,
Hi.
Joe B,
Hello.
and Joe C.
What's up?
3 everyday Joes perfecting their banking with Chase. Joe A is locking his lost debit card with the Chase mobile app. Joe B is cruising toward his new ride with AutoSave. And Joe C's Chase banker is helping him budget to go back to school. Tools that help protect. Support for what's next. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase. Make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Messaging and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take.
And when I left the Evan-On, we decided together that it was time to see a doctor and make a plan.
Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside The Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Welcome back to The Raw Report. We are having a great conversation with the executive producer of Swagger that's on Apple TV. And I just got into it. I have to say, I am definitely a fan of this show. And I can't wait to get caught up with season 2. But I know that there are some people who are following along because of obviously it's great content. But you have a great episode that's coming out tonight. In fact, it's a powerful episode. And I saw on your social media a very powerful clip that you posted, and it was surrounding the idea of "Are we free?" Reggie, please break that down for me and for the listening audience.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I would say, like, I would love it if everybody starts at season 1 and is able to get caught up on the show. But even if you have not, I would say watch this one. Because it's almost a standalone, and if you haven't been following with the series, you could still just plug in and get it. And And this was so important because while it's, look, it's wildly entertaining in terms of a basketball game that they play. It's something we've done that I don't believe has ever been done in cinematic history, is we shoot an entire basketball game in one shot. I have a camera operator on rollerblades, and it's really amazing choreography. So there's an entertainment element to it, but the real reason we got to get into that is because it raises certain questions that we haven't really dealt with and really asked ourselves. I mean, the number one provider for people with mental illness in this country are prisons. That's the number one provider. And we have our youth filling up these prisons when, look, some people, maybe they do deserve to be there, but a lot of people are there for mental illness. And so, I love the fact that we are able to use this platform that's, on the surface intended to entertain and really get in there and just raise some questions. I'm so also happy that John Carlos from 1968 Olympics, raises his fist in the air from the podium when the national anthem played. He visited, our writers' room via Zoom, and we really talked a lot about what it means to be a champion, on the court and off the court. And so it was really great that he has a role in this one as well, and it really says some real provocative things. And so it's highly entertaining, but I really think it's just really important for a whole family to just dig in this one and just check it out.
Oh my goodness. And I saw that. I was blown away just even by the clip that you posted. So I know what we have to look forward to on this episode is absolutely fantastic. And yes, I do agree with you that people, if they can, to just buckle down and catch up, But again, definitely watch this episode because I know that it'll be a powerful one. But for sure, this is something that I think will relate to a lot of other people. I have this conversation a lot, though, Reggie. I want to know your thoughts on this. We often talk about we point all the fingers at some of the issues that we have, especially with our youth in our communities. Obviously the killings and the gangs and the all the things, the illiteracy, all the things. Or you can point to anyone and we can have a conversation about it. But oftentimes people are pointing at the problems and no one has a solution. And I'm not saying that there is one solution. And there are people like you who are doing a fantastic job of bringing it to the light, because these are conversations that they need to continue to happen, especially if we are to do anything about it. But I'm curious your thoughts. Where do we start? Is there a starting point? Or is it just a little bit too layered when it comes to solving some of these issues within our community?
I think that there's not one switch we can turn on that solves everything all at once. But I will say, what we really lean into in our show is embedded and ingrained in our storytelling is the urgency of community. It's the urgency of us coming together. And, the other reality is our culture is under attack. Our youth, they're under attack. We can't even read Toni Morrison in school. You taking out James Baldwin? You taking out Lorraine Hansberry? We got to know that we're under attack. We got to know that love is strength, and that this idea that our youth don't need to be protected. And when I say protected, and I don't I have two sons, and the oldest now is 22 and the youngest is 19. And, Robin, I'm sure your listeners can understand this. Last year, my 18-year-old, he was playing a baseball game. He's a D1 baseball player. He's playing a baseball game in Compton. He's driving. He gets pulled over by a cop. He told me about the experience. And it was a sigh of relief, because you're waiting for that moment when a white cop pulls over your black kid and he gets through it. That's a space that, it's sort of okay, you get you, and you're sort of you kind of okay, this sort of checklist that I gave him, just thank God, he survived it, and that's a space that we live in. And so I really don't want to say that I'm, have a solution to everything, but I really believe that it lies in two things. One, that it really lies in community. And when we call our show Swagger, it's not about bravado and showing how cool you are and trying to impress people. The idea of Swagger is to have a cause bigger than yourself. And if you lean into that cause bigger than yourself and you can execute that cause bigger than yourself, then that's Swagger.
I can say, have you written a book, sir? Because I can sit here and just listen to you talk or narrate this entire thing for me because it's so compelling. And I appreciate you. And when you gave us a story about your own son, it obviously brought me back to the first episode of Swagger on season 1, where the character Jace has a similar sort of experience. And, unfortunately, that is something that and we have to really prep our boys. I don't have sons, but that's definitely something that we have to prep our young black men, what they'll have to more than likely endure just in the community, in the world. Is there anything specific after season 2? We don't know where this is going with season, the finale of season 2. But what is it that you want people to take away from the show when they watch your show Swagger? Should they walk away with having more conversations amongst the family, go talk with their friends about it? Should they be amped, playing basketball, or, what are those feelings or those ideas that you want people to take away from the show when they watch it?
Well, there's something that's happening, like the viewers are giving this to us, right? Well, first of all, we are dominating the black viewership at that network, and so the people are talking to us. And one of the biggest compliments that we get is that people are watching. It's like it's become cross-generational. So people are watching it with their kids. Adults are watching it with their parents, and I would say that we really, in our storytelling, you'll see this when you follow us online and stuff, but I don't use the word episode when it comes to Swagger, right? We always say Maze 1, Maze 2, Maze 3, as opposed to episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. And one of the reasons, like the first image in Swagger is our lead character, Jace, gets a hand-drawn maze by his father, right? But maze becomes a metaphor for life. So like to say that like life is not a straight line. It's got twists, turns, obstacles, and opportunities. It's a maze, and if you really understand that maze from our lens, then we understand like we're leaning on the shoulders of those that came before us in the civil rights movement and Reconstruction. Like it's all a part of this maze, and so we want to put this maze, this community, in our storytelling. We lean a lot into joy. We have the best shot basketball on the air. And you're going to be highly entertained, but beyond that, ideas to just challenge perspectives. And so there's a lot of different things that we deal with, but it all comes down to this question of how do we treat our youth in this country.
I love that. As I mentioned before, you are a fantastic storyteller and a visionary, as is your wife. Also, she's also filmmaker Gina Prince Bythewood. I can only imagine what your household is like. I mean, just the story times and the ideas that you all come up with. We know her from her work. Obviously she's got a plethora of things that we've loved as well. Love and Basketball, The Woman King. We could go on and on. What is that dynamic like? I mean, the two of you. This is your sort of family's mission. Telling these great stories.
Well, we met in the writer's room in a different world, but to be honest with you, like we're very normal. We're not.
Yeah, you're not talking about shows every day over dinner.
We talk about it a lot, but there's just like life, and it's not like when Gina walks down the hall, we roll out a red carpet. You know what I mean? But
Right.
so like we're but we do. But we're very passionate about what we do. We want our sons to be very passionate about what they do. And, you know, ideally we're able to follow our passions. And so, I don't know. I think it's pretty normal, you know, our lives. But, you know, we really love it and really, really, really blessed to be able to use our art and our craft to entertain and challenge perspectives. And that's really what it is.
Well, fantastic. Again, I just want to say thank you from so many people who they're in a position where they love to watch, they love to be entertained, and we all have become fans of what you all have put out in the culture over the years. But so many people aren't able to express that to you just because they don't have either the platform or the opportunity to speak with you. So I find it a privilege to sit here to speak for not just myself, but a lot of us who are listening and appreciate your work. And more than anything, that narrative that you're pushing out there, that we need to care and we need to shine a light on what's going on in our community. So I deeply appreciate that. And absolutely everybody needs to go ahead and tune in tonight for this episode of Swagger on Apple TV. Is there anything that you would like to leave the audience, especially let them know where they can follow you as well, Reggie?
Well, sure. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Rock the Film, and but I do want to just say, Robin, to you and your listeners, however you can get it to everyone. You know, we have a code for like a free membership at Apple for 2 months.
Oh wow!
You know, so you can get that code if you're not already on Apple TV Plus. Get the code, sign in, check out Swagger, and that way, you know, it'll just, you know, be a free service to your listeners. So I want to make sure that we get that to you so that you can provide it to your listeners as well.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for that. Do you have that on hand?
I can email it to you, and
sure, and
then you can, because it's like a QR code, and
got it, perfect.
So something that needs to be, you know, downloaded and stuff. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll take it from there. You just send it over to me via email, and I will take it from there to get to our listeners. Andy, did you have anything? Yes, Andy's just concerned that we could get that QR code. Yeah, we'll take care of it. Reggie, I just want to say thank you again for coming on to the show. We truly appreciate you, and I look forward to, I'll go on your social media and let you know what I think about tonight's episode. So thank you again.
Yep. Please do. And a shout out to our mutual friend, Sandra Evers Manley, who, you know, I think, you know, because of her, myself, and so many other people have gotten into this industry.
Wow. Thank you to Sandra. We appreciate her as well. You enjoy the rest of your night as well as your weekend, Reggie. And thank you again for coming on to the Raw Report.
All right. My pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you. When we come forward, we have our next interview with another heavy hitter. So I want you guys to stay right there. Right now, we've got news, traffic, and sports. You are listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Denzel Whitaker, and I'm on the Raw Report.
More of the Raw Report with Robin Ayers when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The grueling heat wave that's gripping the U.S. isn't easing up. Officials say on July 20th, over 90 million people were in areas that experienced dangerous levels of heat. Forecasters warn the heat dome is expanding in Texas and in the Southwest, and triple digits could drag well into next week. The Department of Justice is preparing a lawsuit over Texas' floating border wall. It currently is bobbing in the Rio Grande near the town of Eagle Pass, which has become a dangerous spot for illegal immigration. In a letter, the DOJ says the system of buoys violates federal law. And a woman is suing a California restaurant, claiming her meal was so spicy she suffered burns on her vocal cords, esophagus, and nose. The woman is demanding money for medical expenses and to cover loss of income. I'm Esther Dillard from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Downtown LA on the 101 southbound at Alameda Street. That accident trying to clear from the right lane. It's going to be stopped from Hollywood Boulevard. Also, Santa Fe Springs, 605 northbound after Telegraph Road. That crash has the right lane blocked. They have reopened the left lanes, but it's still going to be a slow ride coming away from the 105. And in Anaheim Hills, 91 westbound at Lakeview Avenue. Stall in the second lane from your left.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. At Blindster, we offer over 50 different custom window treatments, including faux wood blinds and shutters, all at prices less than retail. Plus, we'll send you free samples before you buy. Don't hire an expensive pro. Do it yourself and save big at Blindster.com.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
Is this the
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
An update for you regarding Magic Johnson's proud ownership of the NFL Washington Commanders. Magic is one of 3 African Americans who are part of an original ownership group that bought an NFL team. Earlier today, we mentioned former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice as a part owner of the Denver Broncos. Well, the Broncos have another sister in their ownership group, and she's big time. Melody Hobson, who grew up on the south side of Chicago, joined the Walton family to buy the Broncos in 2022. The 54-year-old Hobson is president and CEO of Ariel Investments, a company that manages $17.8 billion in assets. She's also chairperson of Starbucks Corporation. And check this out. She's married to filmmaker George Lucas, the guy that gave us Star Wars. When she and Lucas got married in 2013, Prince performed at their reception. Diversity is making a move in the NFL. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Following the leader.
Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Attention boss ladies, it's time to refresh, restore, and renew. Announcing the Restored Leadership Brunch and Wellness Summit, Saturday, July 22nd at Levels in downtown Los Angeles. Enjoy delicious brunch and refreshing mimosas while networking with other boss ladies. Meet representatives from Nike, Puma, and the Los Angeles Lakers. And prepare to unlock your inner CEO with the amazing Dr. Karen, founder of the MK Circle CEO Institute. Sis, it's hard to prioritize yourself. That's why the Vermont Slauson Economic Development Corporation created the Restored Leadership Brunch and Wellness Summit. Connect, discover, refuel, and realign. Save your seat now at restoredevents.com. This is an exclusive event and seats will fill up fast. That's Saturday, July 22nd at 12 noon at Levels Downtown, located at 888 South Olive Street. Register now at restoredevents.com.
KBLA Talk 1580. I'm Dominique DePrima from the show First Things First, weekday mornings from 6 to 9 a.m. Join us Tuesday with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. It's Mornings with the Mayor every month, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus Next Day Energy with melatonin plus extended release B vitamins.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. Keeping you informed about what's really going on.
Who's got next?
And what not to miss in entertainment. You're listening to The Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580.
Let's go ahead and get straight into this because I don't want to waste any more time. You are inside the Raw Report on KBLA Talk 1580. And I already told you, today you could expect 2 heavy hitter interviews. And so if you're just joining us, we just got off the phone with one remarkable filmmaker, executive producer of Swagger, that really nice hit show on Apple TV. You guys, make sure that you check out tonight's episode. It's seeming like it's going to be a fantastic one, very, very compelling and powerful, one that you need to watch. All right, so go ahead and do that. And yeah, we just finished that conversation, and now I'm here with someone who I just can't even believe is sitting across from me right now. It's fantastic. She is one of the first Black supermodels, period, okay, in the nation, okay, in the history, okay? And if you don't know who I'm talking about, she is Beverly Peele. She's appeared on the covers of over 250 magazines in her career. She has graced the runways of all kinds of runways, all kind of designers she's worked with. And I am proud to say she was my very first boss. You laugh when I say that. Crazy. Welcome, Beverly Peele.
Thank you,
to
Robin.
the
That
Raw
was a
Report.
wonderful introduction. I love it.
Oh,
that's why I love you.
Oh,
you're just
thank you.
A beautiful spirit. I can't believe I was your first boss.
Yeah, you were my very first boss. I was,
We were chilling.
I know we were chilling. We really were. I was. This is around the time that how I saw you, Bev, is that you were always connected. You were always doing something. You were very well connected all across the industry because, hello, Beverly Peele. Okay, supermodel Beverly Peele. And I remember going out. There was a specific spot that we would go to all the time. It was like a restaurant. And I kept seeing you, and you were just nice to me.
Wasn't it Las Palmas?
It was not. It was not. It was a different place here in L.A., and I don't remember the name of that restaurant. This is before you went on to do your own thing. So I just always saw you there, and you sort of just opened your arms to me to teach this young, dumb, trying to figure out little young lady.
Look at you now.
Yeah, and look at me now. I often say this. I've actually gone on to talk about some of the people who have influenced me in my life and some of the mentors that I've had. And you are literally out of maybe 3 or 4. You're like right there. So I don't know if you ever knew that,
No,
Beverly.
I didn't. I had no idea.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm like literally like my heart is going.
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's awesome because I love the fact that we have history and I could look to you for like memories.
Yeah.
Mine's kind of gone, but I think that's like, I can't believe I was a boss like way back then. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, you
But
hired me as I was your
my
assistant. Yeah, exactly.
And you assisted very well. I mean, nobody could replace you. I swear. I was trying to fill those shoes for years. I'm like, well, Robin did this, Robin did that, and they're like, well, I'm not Robin. But
well, that's
on to
great.
bigger and better things. I'm proud of you. I
Thank
really
you.
am. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you
it's
so
just
much.
good to see a beautiful sister that is embracing her talents and utilizing all of the tools that you have and teaching other people and giving other people the opportunity to learn and grow and find out information about the world pretty much. And I dig that. I think that's dope. It's dope.
Beverly, thank you. I love the sister energy we got going on right now. And it's I've always taken a sort I don't want to say the word pride. I think pride is a weird word. I'm still trying to navigate my way with that word, but I've always tried to I've always been proud, for lack of a better word, of the fact that I know you. And when I look at the icon that you are, you really made history with a lot of the different things that you did in your time as a model. You're still a model. You are still, this is who you are, right? Something that you breathe. What was that experience like for you? I don't know that we had ever really talked about that. I knew you as, my boss, sort of transitioning into other things. You became an actress, businesswoman. But as an actress or as a model, becoming a supermodel back then, can you talk about that experience a little bit?
Yeah, of course. I would love to. It was honestly, it was one of those things that just happened. It wasn't a thought. There was no process. There was no plan, no 5-year, 10-year, 2-year plan. It was just, I was in school and my mom put me in etiquette because I was a tomboy and I wore, I always came home with holes in my pants, and she wanted me to wear tights and curtsy and do all that stuff. And that just evolved, and I was in a competition, and next thing I know, my first job, Johnny Versace, $50,000. I was 12 and a half. Then I go to New York. I'm the first black woman on the cover, and I wasn't even a woman. I was literally 13. And on the cover of Mademoiselle in 1989. And flying here, go to Paris, do this, do that, I was just doing what I was told by my mom, because she really, she wanted me to be a model more so than anything. I wanted to be a dancer. But that being said, it wasn't until maybe my mid-30s that I realized the impact that what I have done and all the firsts and all that stuff had on people, because I started, listening to people. You got people, at the height of my career, it was like I'd walk out my apartment and there'd be 20 people with 8x10 glossies and a Sharpie pen waiting for an autograph at 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, how long were you standing there? It's freezing outside. Like, I'll sign in and get in my car and go to work, wherever I was going. But hearing people and reading messages of people saying, you inspired me to become a fashion designer, or your story helped me get through this, or, because of your confidence, I just, what would Beverly do? That kind of thing, or whatever it is that I did impacted people. So I was like, I really got to, not only my children, but there's a lot of people just watching me. So I really, really thought about what I was going to do and what my next steps were. So being younger, it was a kid in a candy store. I got whatever I wanted whenever I wanted it. But I didn't look at it as something that was like a challenge. I never was the model that I had bad experiences. One that's been, publicized in the last 2 years from my son's father. But prior to that and outside of that incident, I was never like, people didn't do drugs around me. People didn't, because I was so young. They looked at me as a moneymaker, so they protected me. I never had the casting couch. I never saw the racism side. Or even if I did, I was too young and too childish to really know that that's what was going on in the Black Women's Coalition, the fact that we don't get as much money as white people. So all of those things, the politics in it, I didn't realize had such a strong, overall outcome in the world, and it does. So I just think that I just embraced it as a 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old would. And then now in my older age, I appreciate it and I respect it. And I, that's one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is that I'm here. I moved back to Georgia. Where am I? I'm in California.
You're in California, yes. Welcome back to Cali.
Man, yeah, 5 years away from Cali. And I'm like, what it do, man? I'm talking about the dirty South. No, I'm just playing. But no, I'll just go back to my British accent. No, but being back here, I came back here so I'm opening up a supermodel emporium. Beverly Peele Supermodel Emporium. B&T actually is what it's called. B&T Supermodel Emporium, so I can teach these women and young girls and men, if they want, how to walk like a supermodel, from a supermodel, how to learn what it takes to be a supermodel. But not only that, to be a woman, to have confidence, to have your inner goddess, your inner, supermodelism come out, because you utilize that everywhere. You walk with pride, and you need to learn how to walk on the runway for competitions, for fashion shows. But even lawyers can come and do this and get one-on-one coaching with me. And then that'll, we also offer boot camps. We'll offer 5-week courses with like a whole spiel.
Yes.
Smorgasbord.
Sure, all of the above. All of the above.
Of things, teaching hygiene, teaching poses, teaching health, teaching all of that. But first and foremost, the history of modeling, that it is not because you have an iPhone and a filter that makes you a supermodel. Supermodel is hard. It works. Like, people think it's all glitz and glam and we get free clothes and we get to be with designers and we date rock stars and basketball players, but it's not. You have ready to wear collection, you have haute couture collection. You have to do photo shoots in between all over the world. Ready to wear, you're going to Milan, Paris, London, Tokyo, New York, and then now they have all these other places, but all of that within a month period, a 3-week period actually, and then you go off and you do some photo shoots from that, and then 2 months later you're off doing haute couture, and 2 months after that you're doing back ready to wear again. Like, it's literally traveling all the time, and like no sleep, no this, no that. I'm not complaining. It was a lot of money. It was great. I had fun. It's like acting without whatever, but it is, you need to, if you want to be a runway model, I want to bring that era back from when I was a model. I don't like all this, I'm a certified this, and it's not really a real certification. It's not really they're real models. Like,
it's one of the biggest problems that I have.
They can't walk on the runway. Like, come on, ladies.
But
like,
speaking of that, Beverly, and I'm so glad that you talked about this, because it's not just knowing how to walk. There is a certain type of there's an elegance and a confidence, and I have to say, people often talk to me about my confidence to this day. That's one of the biggest compliments that I get. They're like, Robin, regardless of what you think about yourself, your confidence is sky high. And I walk in it.
But you've always been like that, and that's great.
I can't say, okay, here's the kicker. Okay, Beverly Peele, here's the kicker. You taught me, you know, everybody serves a certain purpose in your life, right? And I mentioned before, I've had, several mentors and things like that. Everybody played a different role. You actually taught me what it was like to walk into my womanhood and walk in with confidence. There were things that I saw you do that I thought I could never do that. You taught me how to attract, and not go after, not have to, attract and be and stand in your confidence. And so that is such a great thing that you mentioned, that you want to teach to other young ladies, because especially in this time of social media, it's fabricated. Looks are fabricated. We have filters
they're all like
now.
This. They're just like,
and that's not modeling, and that's not even confidence.
Y'all don't
really
even know what it is. Get on a plane, do some shoots. You know what I mean? Like, none of the models. I never went to modeling school. I didn't learn how. We all have our own stamp, our own walk. There's the Yasmin Guris, there's Naomi's, there's the Katusha's, people that society hasn't heard of, but they're famous in the fashion world, that have amazing walks. I remember Iman was my mentor. Well, not mentor, but she came to me when I was 13 something. It was like my second season, and she always came to me at the right moments, and she would say, darling, you are not, it's not about you. It's about, the clothes. It's about this. It's about that. And like what she said to me really stuck. We are walking hangers. It's not about our ego. It's not about us. We need to learn how to embrace that and respect it, and respect our money, and learn how to save. I wish I had somebody that taught me that back then, and just everything, basically, coming from a person who's been in it, not from someone who's, just associated with it, or someone who's always wanted to be a model. No, you have an actual supermodel who's been it, lived it, breathed it, slept it, peed it, all of that, and who can teach you. And that's what I want to do. I want this to be like worldwide. I want to touch Africa. I want to touch Spain. I want to touch all these places and touch people and make them understand that everybody's beautiful. Everybody has this je ne sais quoi in them, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm not going to take her class. I'm not going to hire her, go to see her because I don't want to be a model. No, you can utilize this in every aspect of your life.
Sure, in your day-to-day life. I hear you guys. I see you all in the comments. They are going on. They're loving you. They're loving what you're saying, Beverly. When we come forward, though, we're going to continue the rest of this conversation with the beautiful supermodel and coach Beverly Peele. When we come forward, you're listening to the Rob Report on KBLA Talk 1580. Stay there.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eric Bellinger, hanging out right here with my family at the Rob Report. Keep it locked.
You're inside the Rob Report with Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hollywood Walk of Fame stars in 2024. Stay tuned to find out who's in next year's class. I'm Aisha Cairo with your K-Black Minute News. a new group of 31 entertainment professionals across film, television, radio, recording, and sports entertainment will have their names etched into Hollywood's history in 2024. One of the most celebrated names on the list was the beloved Chadwick Boseman. Others for the class of 2024 in Hollywood Walk of Fame was this year's Oscar winner Michelle Yeoh in the motion picture category. Other notable names include Chris Pine, Gwen Stefani, Andre, Dr. Dre, Young, Otis Redding, Christina Ricci, Brandy Norwood, Harry Washington, and more. The dates for the stars ceremonies have not yet been scheduled. To find out all 31 inductees, visit youtube.com/Walk of Fame.
In our community, mental health struggles can sometimes go unnoticed. The suicide rate among Black youth has risen faster than any other ethnic group. Only 1 in 3 African Americans who need mental health care receives it. African American women are only half as likely as their Caucasian counterparts to seek professional mental health services. Even those who guide us spiritually can sometimes face their own challenges. 45% of pastors say they've experienced depression or burnout to the extent they need to take a leave of absence from ministry. As people of faith, it's time to acknowledge it's okay not to be okay. You can pray and get help. Visit normalizehelp.org for more information and resources. Join us in raising mental health awareness in our community. Funded by the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health and the Champion Counseling Center of Faithful Central Bible Church.
Giving you your daily dose of entertainment and celebrity news.
You're inside the Raw Report.
With Robin Ayers on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are listening to the Raw Report, and we are sitting here with the incredible, incomparable Beverly Peele, who I've had the privilege of sitting under years ago.
Let's not say how many.
Not how many years, but several years. Only a couple. It was only a couple years.
Right.
You're just as beautiful and as elegant as you were back then.
Thank you, Robin.
And I can only imagine, though, throughout time, all the lessons that you've learned that you want to pass on.
Oh, yeah.
And now
it'll be out of my book. I'm writing a book.
Okay,
as well.
yeah. And talk to me also about passing that on to your children. I mean, these lessons that you've learned, and I know for a lot of people who have come up in the entertainment business, and for you, fashion is a subsidiary, I guess, of entertainment. You've seen so many things and experienced so much. And now that you have children, you want to protect them from certain things, right? So talk about some of that, or you're going to put it in your book, I'm sure. But
it's actually probably going to be like 3 books.
Okay, that's good. enough content
to write.
Yeah,
it's a lot. But no, my children are, my 2 youngest children, 6 and 12, DJ and Storm. They don't know me as Supermodel Beverly Peele.
Right.
They've never seen me because I've been hiding from the world and doing just Beverly and being Betty Crocker and figuring out what I want to do when I grow up outside of modeling. But my 2 oldest children, my daughter Cairo, who the world knows, and then my son Trey. So my daughter Cairo will be 30 in September. My son Trey, he's 19. He's my supermodel son. I've kept him sheltered, yes. Yeah. I don't, I'm one of those moms, it's just me and my kids. It's, that's all I have in this world. So I keep them very close. So this move back to LA without my 2 oldest was literally, I was like driving. I don't know what I'm going to do without my son. I was boo-hooing the whole way, but I'm growing up too. So it's funny that you ask me, like, what do I teach my kids? My kids teach me every day, how to be a better mom, how to be a better person, what I need to do to improve myself. Don't be scared, Mom. Fight your battles, choose your battles you fight. So like my 2 oldest kids, all the tools I gave them, they're giving them back to me in the time that I need it now. And I focus on my 2 youngest children. I just teach them that they can do whatever they want, introduce them to everything. Like this modeling is modeling. If you want to do it, I support you. If you want to act, I support you, but I'm not throwing them in the business into the lion's den. It's changed a lot, this business. So, everything is like influencers and this and that. Like, I was on option for a job, and the first thing, now you do Zoom castings and stuff like that. And how many followers do you have? And I'm like, what do you?
Yeah.
Right. Nobody's following me. What are you, sick in the head?
I know.
Like, no, but like, you know, and it's crazy because
So
like my
different.
Instagram got hacked 3 times. I was up to 1 million followers, whatever. Got hacked, did it again, not a million, but a lot.
Yeah.
Then I got hacked, did it again. I'm on my 3rd Instagram, so
Oh, my
now I'm just
goodness.
like, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't like you people. Like, I'm gonna get it all
It's
up.
a different game.
But you
Yeah.
have to, like, it's like, as much as I'm anti that, I don't want my kids on TikTok. I don't want my kids to like swear. I'm blessed. None of my kids, nobody's come home. Well, the 2 youngest one, of course not. But my son's not out there getting people pregnant. My daughter's not
Yeah.
pregnant. She's not having. You know, they don't do drugs. They're not in gangs. They're good kids. You know,
Yeah.
but they just want to. You know, my son's talking about in the generational wealth at 19. You
Woo.
know, he's like trying
I
to
love
do all
that.
this kind of. I love it. Teach me, please.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know, he's like, you know, so basically, out of the mouths of babes, like they see the world. So I look at everything. I'm just there to protect them, to feed them, to make sure they, you know, kiss their boo-boos when they hurt themselves, read them bedtime stories, and make sure they grow up to be nice young gentlemen and women.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny. I was telling your person that you were working with, that you introduced me earlier. My daughter's name, Storm Saket Peele, right? So Saket is the Egyptian goddess of war. She's very powerful. Storm was an Amazon. You know, Storm from the X-Men, she was from like a planet Amazon. She controlled the weather, but she's giant. You know what I mean? So my daughter came home one day and said, "Mommy, I don't like people calling me Stormy." I said, "Don't let them call you Stormy." I explained to her her whole history, what her name meant, and how she's a strong
beautiful.
warrior goddess, and she loves that and she embraces it. My son DJ, this whole thing. So they all have their own little things. I'm like, you know,
They're teaching you.
I'm
I love
literally
this.
every
I
day.
love
I
it.
hate to say, I make it up as I go along because there's no book.
Yeah.
There's no rules
Well,
and right
listen,
or wrong ways.
I'm happy that you are reintroducing yourself to the world, that you are now, you know, you've taken your time off, you are back, you have your company that you're starting, you're training young women and men and whomever else.
So hit me
And
up on my Instagram.
Which
everybody
is what?
with
Let
the
everybody
details.
know when what's your Instagram.
My Instagram is The Real Beverly Peele. The Real, like
Real
R-E-A-L.
Beverly?
Beverly.
The Real? Okay.
Beverly, no, Beverly Peele.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'll be posting stuff shortly. We're just literally ironing out all the last minute kinks. We should be up and running in August, like the middle of August.
Well-
and it'll be in Hollywood, and you can get one-on-ones, and you can get, you know, all of
I
that
love
stuff.
this.
And yeah,
I love this for you.
just
So
love
you
it. Yeah, me
guys
too.
make sure that you follow Beverly Peele at the Beverly Peele.
The real, but
the real
yes.
Beverly Peele. I even have it written down. I didn't say it well, but I truly appreciate you.
I appreciate you
so much. I love you deeply.
I love you
and,
as well.
And I'm looking forward to everything that you're going to bring to the world. Because if it's anything like what I've gotten, you guys are in for such a treat. But listen, happy Friday to you
Happy
guys.
Friday. Thank
Enjoy the
you.
weekend. Live it up. I'll be back on Monday. And you guys remember, today and every day forward, to be a blessing.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Vice President Kamala Harris is set to visit Florida to speak out against the state's new Black history standards in schools. This week, the Florida Board of Education approved new standards for how public schools should approach Black history. That includes teaching students that some Black people benefited from slavery because it taught them useful skills. New York City Black Mayor Eric Adams is doubling down on his